And girls, game number 2 now this series, Nemiga versus Team Spirit. Here in this best of 3. Of course, Spirit up 1-0 on the Drow strategy of game number 1. This being the CIS Qualifier, is trying to advance on to the semifinal matchup where Gambit Esports is awaiting. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Tsunami here in game number 2. We got a Shadow Demon once again. First pick for Team Spirit, FNG.
Radiant
But a solid Shadow Demon in the first game. Why not go back to it in game number 2? No, Tiny coming out for an Nemiga with their first pick. So we get a Tiny once again in this series now, here in game 2.
Yeah, last time we saw it paired up with Ogre Magi to follow it up. But, you know, the hero is very strong by itself. At least today, compared to yesterday, Morphling is being banned out, because Morphling was just being completely ignored yesterday until, I think it was Empire finally picked it against Bressamans, and I was like, oh, okay, well, finally the hero shows up. But Nemiga pick up the Tiny. Tiny seems to be slipping through the most between the three top-tier cores, the Medusa, the Morphling, and the Tiny. So it's been having some success. Actually, I need to keep better track of the win rates of these heroes, but I feel like I've been seeing Tiny win a lot throughout this qualifier, so...
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah.
I would go with a positive win percentage for sure for that hero. So yeah, paired up with the Rasta. Definitely some nice lockdown to have to go along with the Tiny, but if you're Spirit, you know, figuring how you're going to deal with that now, maybe position for yourself. Earth Spirit is still on the board. Which,
yeah, I mean, based off of game 1, it seemed like Spirit are very comfortable doing their own thing. And if you start out with a Shadow Demon, that just tells me that, again, they're comfortable doing their own thing. FNG is a big fan of the hero, and he's the one drafting, so he's going to make sure that he can make himself have a comfortable game.
Yeah.
They're going to follow it up with another Drow Ranger.
A second pick Drow, too. Like, it was one thing to pick up a fourth last game, but yeah, now it's second pick Drow. All right. That's bold strategy, Cotton.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. I mean, Spirit's a good team, but I mean, Nemiga didn't even look bad that previous game. Like, I mean, okay, well, let's see. Unless they go something crazy, it's like a support Drow Ranger, and they're like, you fools, we tricked you.
Yeah, that did cross my mind, honestly, when I see that here in the second pick, and it's like oh yeah, no, we're totally doing the Drow strat again. Not. It's like a support Drow instead. And
I've tried a lot of support cores, but support Drow is very, very difficult to pull off.
Yeah, it's not the most ideal, so. All right, well, Nemiga, yeah, they already banned out the Venom. I would not be surprised to see a Marana ban here, honestly. Two very good heroes to take advantage of the Drow aura, and
yeah.
Obviously, they're comfortable with that, so figure that has to be up there on the list as far as possible bans.
I don't really think Venom was that big of a concern in the previous game. Like, Phobos was, you know, he was doing his job as a Venomancer, but I don't really think he, like, dominated the offlane so hard that you needed to ban it, or nor do I think that it's, like, that great synergy with the Drow Ranger that it's worth getting rid of. I think Nemiga are probably debating if they want to take the puck again, because I think if they don't ban the puck and they don't pick the puck, then Team Spirit are probably going to pick the puck.
Yeah, remember you pointed that out last game. Good synergy with the Drow. Could be running that off lane even, potentially there. So I know you also brought up the idea of a Vengeful Spirit on the side of maybe Nemiga when they were going up against the Drow Ranger lineup. So I wonder if that could be an option. That means Tiny would probably need to be mid, though. They run around the core bench.
It's true.
Unless they want to do a support bench, which isn't the worst thing ever.
Man, they ban out Broodmother. Nemiga are shook. They have no idea what the hell is going on right now. And I don't blame them. I don't have any idea what's going on right now either.
Got Shadow Fiend Phantom Lancer taken away from Team Spirit as far as potential options. So
that kind of tells me that they want this to be a mid Drow Ranger, because SF and PL are both fairly good matchups against a mid Drow. And if they want to send this Tiny mid, the Drow Ranger is also a great matchup against that, but they pick Medusa. Something very weird is going on right now. I mean, like Nemiga have like a very traditional, like this is a summit style draft that we saw from pretty much every single team at the summit.
10 seconds.
Yeah, it's hard to
remaining.
be against their draft by any means.
Yeah, but
5
like, is
seconds
this all
remaining.
according to Spirit's plan? Are they falling into a trap?
This is exactly what they wanted.
I mean, you could go for an Invoker. Invoker, for some reason, just never gets picked up against Medusa. Possibly because you have to send it mid, and Invokers typically lose to Medusa mid. But if you have Drow Ranger Aura, then maybe it makes it a little more even. I don't know if ILTW plays Invoker very much. I don't. Invoker in general just is not picked up these days. But EMP is still really good. We're gonna go for a Sand King.
All right, they get the Sand King. Or they are could definitely be positioned for Sand King as well. So I was gonna say off lane, but yeah, no guarantees there by any means. Especially with the Drow, maybe you want to get some
10
synergy there
seconds remaining.
with another range hero. So see where he ends up.
5
But
seconds remaining.
Nemiga
Yeah,
only has
it
30
actually-
seconds reserve time now.
It seems like they give Biver the Sand King more often than not, so I'm gonna put my money on it being a 4-position Sand King.
And a Clockwork.
But you
another-
definitely have a great team to deal with Drow Ranger again on the side of Nemiga.
Yeah, we kind of talked about the last game, though, with the whole PA strategy. And, unfortunately, able to really make it connect. So just kind of a different way now to
10
look at it.
seconds remaining.
Medusa, especially, if they can manage to hold off a lot of that
5
onslaught
seconds
earlier
remaining.
on, will start to become pretty crazy herself. And dealing with.
Yeah, Medusa is one of the few late game carries that can actually kind of do anti-push as well. So, like I had mentioned in the first game of this series, like Drow Ranger strats often revolve around taking out all those tier 1 towers and then making sure that the enemy team doesn't really have very much space to farm. But Medusa with Mystic Stake kind of makes it a little bit difficult to just mow down towers, even with that Drow Ranger range.
So now Spirit, 50 seconds remaining on the clock here of the reserve time at least. Dipping into it. You figure they at least want the one hero to have this energy. We talked about Mirana. You mentioned the Puck as well. Still could be an option. Heroes that line up when you're looking for that synergy. I mean, Gyrocopter? No, he's banned. He was early banned. So
Could go for an Enchantress.
Okay. More of an offlane
Wouldn't be
Enchantress.
bad. Yeah. They don't play it very often on Spirit.
Storm Spirit.
Okay, so they do pick Storm Spirit a lot, but like I saw a Shaman and I saw a Tiny and I saw a Medusa and I was just like, I'm pretty sure Storm Spirit is not a good pick here. And I still stand by that. I don't think Storm Spirit's a good pick. But also I don't think second pick Drow Ranger's a good pick, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Spirit are confident enough in their own skills that even they will play a subpar draft and still come out on top, I guess.
Yeah, and also the idea that they're going up against that third pick Medusa, when they still had 3 picks left themselves ultimately, and Sand King and Storm Spirit aren't necessarily heroes that are like, oh yeah, really good against a Medusa,
Right, yeah, and plus, nor are they heroes that are really good at ending the game early. Storm Spirit requires a ton of time before he finally starts becoming a relevant force in the game. So, let's see what can happen. I'm sure ILTW has probably played that matchup thousands of times in the past 2 months since this patch has come out, so...
Dire team.
All right, well, yeah, get down to 1 second of reserve time there, man. They banned Puck themselves. Batrider, man.
So they...
Nemiga. Because they could have definitely gone Puck as well,
Yeah,
but
they could have.
they choose not to. Obviously, you can't go into anti-mage here. That just wouldn't really
remaining.
fit into the lineup. So Nyx Assassin, maybe, but the mana
5
burn does
seconds
scale
remaining.
off mid to late game. It's not like
Yeah,
as good
with
against Medusa.
Radiant team pick.
Medusa's talent kind of mitigates that. Take Omni-Knight.
Wow.
This is such a weird draft from Spirit.
You may now select
Snap
your
Razor.
heroes.
Snap Razor is pretty
confident.
good because Unstable Current can purge off that Guardian Angel.
True.
This is peculiar from both teams. On paper, I definitely favor Nemiga, but I don't think Spirit are dumb. I think they have something very clear in mind. I don't know what it is, other than win, but I don't know how they're going to do that.
Wait, so the Chosen One is their 3-player, and he's playing Tiny.
Oh, yeah. The heck?
Yeah, no, because I was wondering with the Razor pick, though, as good as
It may
it
just be a
is,
comfort thing. It may just be like Samus is a Medusa spammer or something like that.
But then what would they do? Like lane off-lane Razor?
No, I think like they're not gonna change the roles. They're just gonna change who's playing which hero. So I
Yeah.
think like Samus is still going to be a safe lane Medusa. DSR is going to be a mid Razor, and then I guess they're going to do some kind of aggressive tri lane with Tiny Rasta, or not. Sorry, they'll run a 2-1-2 probably. Actually, I think the Shaman can lane with the Medusa, and the Clockwork will lane with the Tiny. That would be my guess.
All right. All right. Well, we'll see if they do that or not. But, yeah, again, seeing that a Tiny here ending
Prepare
up
for battle.
going boost first even, and he's running into that top lane. Hey, him and the Clockwork potentially. Could be a causing issue up there. Rasta, for now, running down middle with Medusa.
Looks like they want to send Medusa mid. I mean, I guess they're both relatively fair matchups against Storm. Both the Razor and the Medusa probably get like Razor would get more, but at the same time, Medusa probably does a better job at shutting down a Storm Spirit with the Mystic Snake spam. We're just gonna have to see how this all plays out.
It's one of those games you don't really try to predict. Kind of just
Yeah, exactly.
let it happen. Let's see what happens. Entertaining to come, I'm sure, though. Biver, he was down here very aggressive.
30
I
seconds
think
to
they
battle.
might have seen him. I think Razor might have seen him for a split second, so not 100% sure on that. Didn't have his vision activated. But, yeah, they got the Shadow Demon, Omni Knight, and the Sand King over here at the bottom rune. Gonna try to set up for a kill. If Nemiga is going to go for it. You see DSR, he's kind of going back and forth. He's like, do I go for it? That's tempting. No. Not going to do it.
The battle
Wise.
begins.
We'll just stay back. So, but you see on the other side of the map, Tiny picks up the rune up here. Felt pretty confident, so it'll still
Are
end up
they
being 2 for 2.
making Illidan solo in this lane?
Wait, Illidan.
I mean, I
top
guess
lane?
it's
Okay.
yeah, Drow Ranger solo. I don't think I've ever seen. Okay, never mind. Okay, so FNG does come top. I think that's necessary. This offlane Tiny, like it's not easy. You have 0 armor and you have 2 ranged heroes going up against you, and this is a Shadow Demon with buffed up precision aura damage. I really think they should 2-1-2 this, but Chosen One's just gonna slug it out for right now.
Yeah, not going to have the greatest start, you figure, but bottom lane was kind of interesting. Sinking attempted a pull, but it was quickly stopped there. But he is going to get the second one off his Biver. At this point, it is him and the Omni Knight, of course. At that bottom, you talked about FNG making its way to the top lane. Being the harasser up there. But, yeah, Clockwork, for now, just kind of bodying ILTW a bit, using the mana burn of the cogs. ILTW just kind of mans up, even kills the cog in the process. Looking for the farm for him. And for now, he's actually doing all right. But yeah, Tiny's going to be the very interesting one. I mean, you see the illusions already created, and FNG is just running him down with the auto attacks. So,
Yeah, he managed to hit level
fun.
2, so that's pretty good, but most heroes get some agi when they hit level 2, but Tiny does not.
Not Tiny. He's just simply still trying to keep out of vision, if anything, of the Shadow Demon. A lot easier said than done, though. He picks up a tree and starts to thwack him again. But yeah, he has to be careful about committing too much because with Drow there, and actually a TP now from the Sand King. There's the Vanish into the Burrow Strike, into the First Blood. Oh, FNG gets it. They were trying to set it up for Drow, but whatever, they get it.
I guess that's not that big of a deal. Biver rotated for that, so that means that, as you can see, Phobos is getting pretty zoned out now that they know that the Sand King's not here to protect the Omni Knight in the offlane, but, I mean, Omni Knight doesn't really need that much help to begin with.
Yeah, we saw last game, especially you just get that hand of Midas, or the early phase boots more so. So last
Yeah.
game, just run at people and get kills even, so.
Fortune's change.
Okay, Phobos going to attempt to do his best at that, as Hastrun from Funster is going to say hello to Sand King. Just poke in back and forth. Not much is going to happen from that, though. But yeah, Tiny top lane, only 3 creep kills. Did it at level 2, as you mentioned, but sitting on there now for a bit. Don't expect this to be a tiny game where he's taking out stacks and stuff. This honestly is going to be more. I feel like more of like a support tiny, right? Where we've talked about that idea of a supportish tiny looking at roam. I mean, I don't know what kind of item build you expect to see with that, or does he go does he go S and Y? Does he go drums and S and Y still?
I think you go blink. You have to go blink first item if you're playing tiny like this, but I don't know how long it's going to take him to get a blink, because that's the biggest issue. If you get the blink, but already like, Storm Spirit has some items, the Omni Knight has some items, then your blink initiation isn't really that great, and you won't have that many levels either. A lot of Tiny's potential comes from the fact that the burst is so ridiculous from the Avalanche Toss combo, but that's because, he's like level 8 when he has that combo, because he's like a safe lane solo carry, but in an off lane position, I don't know. He's getting a lot done though. FNG has not been able to zone him out very much. He's managed to hit level 3.25, and FNG doesn't really know where he is right now, and this Radiant Ward makes sure that Tiny does not have anything to be concerned about.
I got plenty of vision to work with, so FNG still hunting in the area. Eventually we'll see him running on by.
Yeah, he's just going to make sure he doesn't get his banner stolen.
There's the disruption, he got the avalanche, but it doesn't matter, so good job.
He's going to steal his as well.
Oh no.
The race is on.
Toss! He can't get the toss.
Yeah.
Well played by FNG. He will toss him after the fact, but FNG will just TP out while laughing in his face. So well played there. Double damage rune going to be picked up by Medusa. Just heads back to the mid though. Continues to farm. But yeah, middle lane. Storm Spirit 23 and 3, Medusa 20 and 6. Remember, Storm is working with the Drow aura as well. Worth keeping in mind there. And he's actually in the jungle now. They got a nice double stack on one camp. Look to finish that off, get some regen, maybe fill up the bottle eventually. Whether he goes back to base or not, but yeah, Medusa 23-9 is having that good start here herself.
And now Clockwork is moving around. Shadow Demon spots him out, but it's only a level 3 Shadow Demon.
Just gonna keep running. Medusa, is there any reason to believe that she's not gonna go traditional here, maybe the Mask of Madness early on?
No, I think that's pretty much guaranteed. The only issue is that no one's really stacking for her right now. Oh wait, so there's one stack on the bottom Ancients, but yeah, it's not anything significant. Oh man, they almost got the kill on Tiny, but FNG reads the wrong direction. I mean, all things considered, Chosen One is doing a lot better than he has any right to be. He's level 4 in this Tiny. He's basically keeping up the same pace as an Omni Knight in the opposing offlane, and Omni Knight's a way better offlaner than a Tiny is in a solo situation.
Yeah.
He doesn't have as much farm, but he's only falling behind by like 300 gold from the Tiny, so even that's, I mean, from the Omni Knight, so even that's not that bad.
Sand King level 2 still. He's roaming about. Maybe the 6-minute bounty ring going to try to get it. Avalanche though. Oh no, they actually stun Tiny first. They're going to get the bounty ring and possibly the kill out of this. Rasta, he's making his way over. There's the Avalanche with the toss though. Byron needs to be careful himself. They do get the kill on Tiny. It will come at a cost, however, of Sand King going down shortly after. But now Drowsy running
is level
in.
6.
Yeah, dealing plenty of damage. Clockwork, he is feeling he's trying to get out of his own cogs. Realizing it was a trap that he set himself up in. And that's a double kill for FNG actually. On the Shadow
Wasted by his own petard.
Oops. Yeah, good
Yeah,
rotation.
so now that Drow Rangers hit 6, then Tiny's life just got that much harder. Burrow Strike is available. Nice Soul Catcher. That damage.
Yeah. That amp damage is pretty damn good, actually. From the Shadow Demon. Adjusting my desk there. Alright, so the top tower going down. After that as well, and Team Spirit really picks up for them. I mean, it went from a very even net worth game all of a sudden to a 2,000 lead at 7 minutes, just because of what happened right there. A sequence of events. And can they really stop this top tower? I mean, they can. It's just a matter of how many resources they want to put into it.
Yeah, I think you have to start moving Medusa around if you really want to stop it. Otherwise, you can just kind of discourage Drow, but yeah, it looks like Spirit's going to back off as now. Looks like they want to make a move on Phobos in the bot lane as Khazar is wrapping around. There's Repel available, and he gets it off.
There's a Repel. Link still stealing
A lot
plenty
of static
of damage.
Link, yeah.
He's going to be banished, however, so the turn potential is real. Shackles coming out after the side. They will kill Shadow Demon, but they already got the kill on a Razor, and now they're going for Kazar? Anyways, Shadow Shaman, he goes down. Double kill for LTW. On the Storm Spirit, obviously his TP in very successful, and Omni Knight, again, diving in Omni Knight, it always seems like that's going to be a very dangerous idea for that reason.
Absolutely. Once he gets that Hex off, I mean, once he gets that Repel off successfully, you have to leave. Like, it's great that you're getting all that static link damage, but you have to remember that Storm Spirit has, what, plus 32 damage right now, thanks to Precision Aura? So normally a Storm Spirit, you know, he can't make that rotation against a Razor. You show up, and then you're just going to feed a double kill to the Razor, but when you've got, like, that much extra damage at this stage of the game, 8 minutes in, then, yeah, Storm Spirit can gladly take that fight.
Well, FNG, again, him dying in the last fight, and I'm guessing, yeah, he had a 3-kill stopper right there onto him, so Razor getting a little bit of bounty gold for that, but he gets back to the top, continues to zone out the Tiny. I mean, I know you mentioned Tiny maybe getting even more than expected, but doesn't mean it's a lot. He's still overall struggling, only 2,000 net worth. Does finish his phase boots. You see the build, he has a mine, the Soul Ring into the blink, but again, even as you pointed out, at this rate, it's going to be a pretty long blink dagger for him to be picking up.
I imagine part of the reasons why he's not going straight for the blink dagger is because even once he completes it, like, he's so underleveled that he's not going to be able to combo anyone. He still needs, like, what, another 4 levels before he has his max Avalanche Toss combos. Now in the bot lane, they're going in on DSR. So much damage on the Storm Spirit right now. All he has is a Kaya.
Yep, he just got it. Just got the Kaya. Ball lightning around. Not much Razor could do at that point. And you got Clockwork level 3. What is he going to do really at that point? Rasta level 4 rotates over as well, getting ready to defend. But again, he got the Drow Aura, helping to push the lanes out. LTW will come farm this nice stack over here in the Radiant Jungle meanwhile. And Drow just really has had no reason to leave this top lane. She's just safely sitting up here in top net worth as a result.
Because she's not leaving, Tiny can't leave. Because if Tiny leaves, then the tower's immediately going to go down. So the Chosen One has to just sit around here and just stroke himself because he can't leave to farm. Is now they're moving in on Storm Spirit. He has his ult though,
and he has a repel. And there you go. Ball landing away. He's out of mana now, but he's enough distance. That was 4 heroes trying to rotate. They know Tiny's by himself.
Oh, now Tiny.
And yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. TP's coming in, the silence, as you mentioned, and that's an easy kill. I mean, the Avalanche will stop a little bit, but not nearly enough.
It's still level 1 Avalanche.
Yeah. Struggle's still real. He had a Shrine, but they did a good job also kind of keeping him away from that, too.
Yeah, now you've got a Tiny for 15 seconds if you want to tank up this tower. There are a lot of pings going on this top half of the map. They really want to defend this, but Medusa's not ready to do it.
No, where is she? She's farming the ancient stack over here with that Mask of Madness. That's a pretty massive stack. That's a good job from them, but it's going to take a little bit to actually kill. And as you mentioned, while she's doing that, she can't help defend top, and the Siege Creep guarantees the tower kill.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Spirit, like, given this such early map advantage, that they didn't actually try to make any blocks on the Ancient as ILTW gets a free kill on Funster Clockwork.
Speaking of free kills, bottom lane. DSR. Oh, actually, FNG's the one that has to be a little bit careful. Well, the DK Phobos. Okay, never mind. He's not going to be able to assist. But still, they do get the kill on Razor despite losing their Shadow Demon.
And they get another Razor illusion. So start pushing down bot is now in the mid lane. We want to go in on ILTW, and Mystic Snake actually does a hell of a lot of damage, but they just have, like, this Shadow Summon. Actually, he's doing pretty well. He's got Tranquil Boots completed. I'm actually surprised that they weren't able to get the Hex on the Shackles on that Storm Spirit, but yeah, whatever the case. He's about to hit level 6 on this Rasa. I imagine that they're going to have to use it for counter pushing rather than pushing, because Drow Ranger is just mowing down these towers.
Yeah. And that again, that obviously feels so bad, but the game calls for it. Really have no choice. Clockwork, he's got angles, but he doesn't have a hook shot. He's not level 6 just yet, so not able to really get the best jump, although Shadow Demon, I guess they walk into it, makes it pretty easy. He's got a little bit of support nearby, including the Omni Knight, though. Repel happens, the Purge put up on a Razor. Razor, though, draining the damage of Drow. Drow finally breaks the leash. Lost a lot of damage, though, and that is showing right here. LTW going in the Stone Gaze, the split shots, doing so much damage. Everyone's stoned up on the side of Team Spirit. Guardian Angel's not going to save Storm Spirit either, and DK Phobos finding himself alone. He's going to get stunned up in the air. He goes down. 4-0 turn for Nemiga. Wow, that stone gaze was perfect timing.
That stone gaze was fantastic. Tiny being able to avalanche 3 heroes, most importantly avalanching the Omni Knight. It's a really good reaction coming out from Nemiga. That was absolutely necessary. You can't keep getting bullied by Spirit like this when you have a Medusa lineup. You have to eventually take a stand, and that was a great stand to take. Viver wasn't there, but that's because he's working on his Blink Dagger. And so that's one thing that if you look at it as Team Spirit, you're like, well, you know, we didn't have Sand King, and at least he's getting something done in the meantime, because once he completes Blink Dagger, the one missing piece right now is kind of initiation from Team Spirit, because you've got Storm Spirit to initiate, but you saw what just happened. Like, he ball lightning all the way in, straight into a Stone Gaze, straight into an Avalanche, and was not able to do anything.
Yeah, if that one stun hits as he's going in, then all of a sudden it will snowball, as we definitely saw in that fight. So, DK Phobos, he does have the Hand of Midas, though. 1,100 gold saved up currently.
And more stacks for Medusa. Like, Spirit are not contesting this at all.
Wow, yeah, you're right. They scan it out. They just scanned this as you mentioned this, but they're not going to be able to get over
position. Here. Yeah, they can't do anything about it.
It honestly,
all it does is...
Well, it feels like they're like reacting as if they're being ganked now, so they're falling back, but yeah, they're not going over.
Yeah, Guardian Angel's down for another minute, so I can see why they're a little bit scared, but I don't know, maybe they're waiting for Biver, who's kind of playing loop-de-loop over here in this top lane. If he shows himself, then Kazar is ready to pop with this Invis. The Biver's playing it very, very safe.
Yeah, he will show off the Blink Dagger to Sandstorm, push back the lane. So bottom tower does go down, though, for the Dire team, so they're continuing to do some good objectives here. And keeping a very, very slight net worth lead, but Medusa does take over as the top net worth. Individual heroes go, 8,100 net worth on her. And that means Dragonlance now and a Yasha is coming along, and another stack over here. So the stacks really started, man, for this Radiant side. But again, it's exactly what they needed and doing a good job of executing that. So props to them. As a team, Razor, he went the early drums, of course. Looks like, oh, okay, I thought he was going to Heaven's Halberd.
Biver is seeing the Chosen One here. Oh, that's not going to happen.
Gets him. TP, pretty ambitious move right there. It's probably his only chance of getting away, to be fair. He'll toss off the Sand King. Okay, still alive. Another Shadow stack. It's not enough damage, though. Biver doesn't have mana. He has some stick charges. Not enough, but okay.
Oh, man.
ILTW from downtown. Flies in.
All right, well, he made space. Top tier 1 is being claimed. Roster wars were spent. And Nemiga Gaming take their second tower of the game. And all the while, Medusa continues to farm. So Nemiga Gaming are making all the right moves. It's going to come down to, like I said, initiation. Biver has, like we said, completed this Blink Dagger. ILTW is going for the Bloodstone, does not have it anytime soon. He's about like 1.5k gold away after he breaks his Arcane Boots, but still very, very close game.
Oh, absolutely. This is definitely anyone's game. Only 16 minutes in. At this point, no snowball here. But trying to push the bottom tier too. Ultimately, it's going to be defended. Tiny, he is nearby, has that blink. Jump in if anyone does come, but as we see on the mini-map, they're rotating towards the tier 1 middle instead. A little bit safer journey. And looking to guarantee at least this tower kill. You got the Radiant side, hookshot attempts from Glocker. He's kind of channeling it up as if he was going to go for it, but
Radiant structures are fortified.
Maybe a little silly to try to defend at this point. Be fine giving up the tier 1 towers. You got the Drow-like lineup. And that they are there. Storm Spirit does have the Perseverance finished. 1,100 gold saved up. So again, if he wants that Bloodstone, oh, Shadow Demon. He's
FNG, you're crazy for this one.
Yeah. He was tired of seeing Clockwork just kind of chilling there. So it's like, I'm going to go in and tease him a little bit. Whoops.
Yeah, well, puts Hookshot on cooldown, I guess.
Yeah. Gets killed himself, but a bit of a misplay. Omni Knight, 8th lens has been finished. Another Hand of Midas used, so.
And Tiny manages to complete his Blink Dagger, and he's got level 11, so he has his max combo. Chosen One is recovering really well, and they can get this kill on Illidan easily. Oh, nice play.
Love it. The poor man's Blink Dagger. Chucks in the Shadow Shaman, the Avalanche follow-up. It's still not enough, though, is it? Oh, my God, the gust away. He's actually going to live. Wow. Did they do anything wrong there?
Well,
I don't feel like they did. They just didn't
well,
have the damage.
he could have tossed his tree because like his attack speed is so freaking slow right now that he was just like petting Drow Ranger with the tree. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like the main thing is like I think that Tiny should have just blinked and comboed himself rather than using the toss to get the Shaman into position. Because I mean, Shaman, yeah, he's like a relatively slow hero, but he's got the Tranquil Boost completed. He can walk over to follow up on a Blink Dagger initiation, or you can blink Avalanche and then toss the Drow Ranger into the Shadow Shaman the other way around.
Bottom lane, Medusa.
Now bot lane.
That's a big kill if they
This is a huge
secure
pick.
it. They absolutely will. Get plenty of illusions out of it as well, but yeah, that's a great find. That was all the Sand King and the Disruptor they had. Not Disruptor, Shadow Demon. They had the Smoke Ink there to catch the Medusa. So very big kill for them. She was on top of the network chart. That might change now. She's going to be dead for another 40 seconds. Allow Drow to take that back over. As
Yeah, but
middle.
Team Spirit aren't really doing anything about this. Like, they got that pick, but they're just kind of still all farming around. Like I guess Drow Ranger really wants to finish off the Manta style before they start grouping up or something. I don't really think it's necessary, but I mean, the more defensive that they play, the more time Medusa gets to farm, and Medusa will outfarm a Drow Ranger any day of the week, especially if she doesn't have an Aghanim Scepter or a Maelstrom or anything like that, any sort of farm accelerant on the Drow Ranger. So the later the game goes, I'm like Chosen One will start coming back into the game. The Razor obviously has a lot of room to grow. I don't know. I feel like you need to start picking up the pace of your Team Spirit.
Yeah, I agree with you there, definitely. And Drow, 1,100 gold saved up, but Omni Knight continues a fairly greedy route. He actually gets the boots of travel here for that mobility, but it seems like an odd. I mean, seeing an Omni Knight early on with a Midas, bots, and an Aether Lens, it just feels a little underwhelming. I don't know if that's an looking too much into it, but a lot of gold invested, a lot of support utility at this point in the game, but it's getting there.
If anything, I would feel like for the money of a BOTs, you may be better off buying a Blink Dagger, because like the idea of this is like really high mobility on your Omni Knight, but man, Tier 3 is getting pushed now.
Yeah, you'd figure Spirit's the one they're going to be pushing Tier 3 this early on, but not the case. Nemiga, they're doing it. And they get a little bit of damage at least into the Tier 3 tower before the Rasta wards eventually killed off. So they fall back from there.
Stupendous.
And again, when is Spirit's time to really push? I mean, I guess there is only the one Tier 2, so it's not like they're just sitting completely static by any means. There's just the middle Tier 2.
That's true, but they're not pressuring this Medusa at all. Like, she died that one time, and they have this aggressive ward, which is actually might net them a kill.
There you go. That's exactly what you're talking about. There's a Shrine nearby. TP's coming in. Nice gust on it, too, though. That pushes them out of the cogs, and now Medusa cooking on standard grudge. She's going to be silenced a little bit longer. Has that Stone Gaze if need be, but they get the kill on a Sand King, and now Illidan just trying to run this whole time, but he's going to be chased down. The link on him. Yeah, that gust almost seemed to help them more than hurt them, as funny as that sounds. Knocking them out, though. Kind of position them in a better spot, at least Medusa, and they lose 2 heroes despite jumping first.
Yeah.
They still want this. Oh, this is greedy. This is so greedy right here. Are they actually going to get it? Probably not. Yeah, Medusa living the poison zone. Here comes Razor. Okay, the Purge is enough damage to secure that kill, actually, so it is worth it maybe. And now DSR with the link up. He's just trying to run this whole time. Storm Spirit choosing not to chase too much further. He has 16 charges down with the Bloodstone. He just got it recently, so that's good news for Team Spirit. Shadow Shaman, Degenera, standing close to him. Going to eventually be able to run him down as a result. So, wow, Spirit actually works out. I was scared for them jumping that Medusa there.
That's great presence of mind to know that literally everyone on Radiant just TP'd to the Shrine. And so, oh, wow, that's a leap. But he does not get it on the mid-Razor. Yeah, so, oh, man, if he gets hooked here. Okay. Yeah, so it was greedy, and if Medusa was able to get that Stone Gaze off, things would have gone much, much worse, but they were able to burn off just enough mana to make sure that she wasn't able to pull it off, and it's a great recovery from what was initially a terrible initiation from Team Spirit, having that Drow Ranger get picked off, and having the initiation from the Sand King be basically ruined thanks to a Shrine TP, but now they get that kill, and they get a few Bloodstone charges on the Storm Spirit, and now they're going to give him an Aegis as well.
Oh, maybe not.
You've got Guardian Angel. I don't think you need to be concerned. Yeah, Illidan's got the right call. He's blocking this.
Yeah, positioning
oh my god, the neutral blocks it.
Spirit picks it up. You got over here, over to the Ancients. Epicenter was used as they jump in. Razor going to be pulled back in with the Vortex. The Storm Spirit zapping around on top, and DSR will fall. As a result, they also lost the Clockwork. As you mentioned, he got blocked initially. They take out Rasta, and now actually Tiny is in a lot of trouble. The yields that he just got throws himself in the air, but the Chosen One is the dead one. Shortly after, killing spree for DK Phobos even. Medusa, the sole survivor, she was just simply top lane like, what are you doing, team? I'm not joining you.
Yeah, I'm surprised they committed so heavily for that. Like, the Roche was pretty much down, and Guardian Angel was not used at all because Omni Knight wasn't near that Shrine fight. Omni Knight didn't need to use it against the Medusa because the Medusa died, so even if you get the initiation off, no one's really going to die on the side of Team Spirit, and they end up feeding another handful of Bloodstone charges. ILTW now sitting on 21, plus that aforementioned Aegis, so Arax is going to go down, and Medusa's doing her damnedest to push out top, but not before this melee goes down.
She is going to TP back now. Here we go. Sand King stuns in. Epicenter. Nope, doesn't even have it. He has 40 more seconds. Stone Case is active. He's cutting that disruption. Eventually coming back out double. Storm Spirit's picking off the supporting cast in the back lines. And now he's like, you know what? Kill me. I have an Aegis. Please. I need mana. Please kill me. Razor. He gets caught, though. Locked down. And finally, oh, Altidum's actually going to run away. Okay. I thought, honestly, he was just trying to kill himself to get back up. But, no, he says, you know what? We got a couple kills. Let's just back off. Regen a little bit. 24 charges now on the Bloodstone, so another 3 just from that little skirmish.
Yep.
And they're going to yet again reset. Spirit is just all momentum right now. And that's what can happen with the Drow lineup especially.
Be fearless.
Yeah, what do they do? Illidan's like, you can't do a thing with Repel. And that's a Rax cleanup middle lane. So it's begun now for Team Spirit, this really momentum surge. Similar to last game, really. And they didn't look back, so.
LTW still has his Aegis. He has an Arcane Rune bottled. He's about to hit level 20, which I would think that he goes for the Vortex. It's usually that we'll see the attack speed, I feel. But against this Medusa, I think all the chain disable you can get is very valuable to make sure that she does not get the Stone Gaze off.
BKB is going to be important, it feels like, on the Radiant side, especially with the Storm Spirit going crazy. Razor just about has his.
Oh, we're going in. He's repelled.
Sure
oh, poor Storm Spirit. I mean, Shadow Shaman.
Storm's a good one there. He's being linked, though, this whole time.
Oh, damn.
But that Epicenter, though, the stun from Biver coming through, gets one kill. You see the Stone Gaze activated. Look at Altitude. He's like, I'm looking away.
Don't look at me.
Looking away.
I don't want to look
He's
at
so
you.
ugly. Turns back in, has that Aegis still. There's another Burrow Strike stun. Again, even if Storm Spirit dies right here, he's going to be coming right back up with full mana and full life. He is going to go down. Repel? No, it's not going to save him. So, but they know this. They need to get the hell on out of here. Biver making life difficult, though. In comes the catch with the disruption. The Soul Catcher applied. There is the Purge. Tiny's going to end up falling. Going to get Medusa, I'm sure. Oh, the Purge is not enough damage. But oh, my God. ILTW. All right, calm down, bro. That was a little silly.
Okay.
He resurrects really quickly, to be fair, but that
it
was...
does. I think he would have preferred the Bloodstone charges, though.
Yeah, regretting that one immediately. Oh, he's going to bottle up a regen.
Radiant's top
nice.
shrine
well,
is under attack.
Still a handsome net worth advantage right now for Team Spirit. Taking down the mid racks. Still have 2 tier 3s to go through, and you know, like I don't want to chastise him too much, but you're giving this Medusa a little bit of room here. And you're taking it away.
Plan all along. Guardian Angel,
oh, no,
did that
Guardian
hit?
Angel doesn't connect.
That did not hit. We saw that yesterday too, but it doesn't matter. There was not enough follow-up damage. Tiny was crowd controlled, and just like that, in a blink, it's all of a sudden it's still looking very good for Spirit. In fact, it's over. GG, well played. Game 2 will indeed go to Team Spirit over Nemiga here in this best of 3. So, congratulations to Spirit. They do take care of business, and the only first-round series to not go the distance. That is an interesting thing, but overall, an entertaining first round of matchups. And this one, though, team that was expected does take it 2-0. But to Nemiga's credit, especially again for being an open qualifier team, you're facing a team like Spirit who has a lot of experience, quality players. Overall, you know, definitely pretty solid from them, and it's one of those, you know, you look back at the replays whenever you get the chance to face a team like this in a tournament environment and hope to learn from it. But a team with potential, I'd like to say.
Yeah, if anything, I think Spirit had the worst draft. There's no way that this is a better draft for Team Spirit, but the way that Nemiga chose to lane it, I think, was their downfall. They had a lot of different ways to put it. Like, they could have put Medusa in like an aggressive tri-lane with the Clockwork and the Shaman. They could have put the Razor as the solo off lane. They could have put Razor into mid lane and Medusa in the safe lane. They had a lot of options, and in my opinion, the one that they ended up going with was the worst, to send a solo offlane Tiny up against a Drow Ranger and have a Medusa match up against a Storm Spirit, and then just a Razor that was farming up against a Omni Knight. But yeah, like you said, opportunity to learn. And as we close out the first round of these qualifiers, pretty much all the teams that everyone would expect do move on. Empire will be facing up against Vega Squadron, and Gambit Esports will be facing up against Team Spirit.
Yeah, obviously nothing against these open qualifier teams, these other guys, but now semifinals, this is really where it starts to get pretty good, as you just mentioned with those matchups right there. Empire Vega and then Gambit versus Spirit. Winner of those two series then going on to the finals, where then again that one spot on the line to what is a minor tournament here for the StarLadder I-League Invitational Season number 4. But our today coverage will be coming to a conclusion here. Double checking the schedule to make sure. And it does look like... Okay, so yes, tomorrow there is only one game. Okay, so it's actually spread out a little bit. I think they had to reschedule some stuff. So tomorrow there'll be the Empire versus Vega Squadron best of 3 series. Only the one series. It'll be at 9 a.m. Eastern or 1500 Central European Time. The day following, on Thursday, will be Gambit versus Spirit at the same time. And then the finals right now are set for Friday. And those will be best of 5, worth pointing out as well. And that coming Friday there. So, got a couple of big matches these next 3 days in total. Again, ultimately determining which team out of CIS will be moving on. Other regions are happening as well. Europe as well as South America taking place, not only today, but throughout this week. So definitely pay attention for that. And what's overall a good event ahead of us. But Tsunami, wrapping up for today. Any shout-outs, any last words from yourself?
As much as I liked seeing the open qualifier teams try to slug it out, it would have been a bad look for any of these teams to drop out of the qualifier due to losing to an open qualifier or, a lesser known team, because like you said, there are minor points on the line here, and even beyond that, like, there are placements inside other qualifiers. Like in this specific qualifier, we had Spirit, Empire, Vega, and Gambit all be direct invites, as well as No Creativity, who substituted in for M19. And so, like, if you don't get that direct invite, you have to go through open qualifiers, and you have to play that much more Dota, and you have to spend that much more time. And so it may not seem that significant in, like, the grand scheme of the international, but every single series counts, and it's important that all these teams take it very seriously. So it's good that they all came out on top, but starting out tomorrow, they're going to start dropping out.
That is very true. Looking forward to it. Excited to see how it all plays out here. Again, going to be your cast for the CIS qualifying coverage here throughout the rest of this week. But for tonight, again, wrapping up. So have a good night, guys. I believe on this channel, the South American qualifiers will be starting later on tonight. I'm not exactly sure what time. But those will be actually, it looks like I do have a time here. 2300 Central European Time, which would be 5 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, on this channel in about 3 hours from now or so will be the South American qualifiers taking place here. But I was Breaky CPK, joined by Tsunami. Hopefully you guys enjoy the cast. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next time.